episode of the Provocative Podcast. Okay, ladies, I was not going to record, or I originally planned to record the episode in Hawaii, but then I started thinking about the background and the setup and everything, and I was like, listen, I just want to keep everything the same. I'm very OCD about certain things, and as far as my page goes and everything, I just wanted to keep everything the same. So I was just going to skip an episode completely, but I was like, no, I still want to do one. I still want to just update you guys with my life. So today's episode is going to be primarily on just updating you on what I've been up to, what my life's been like the last month, actually the last 2 weeks, and then just a few things that I just feel like are important to share with you guys. And I think some of you guys will enjoy today's segment just so you guys can get a little bit in my life. And then some things might be able to help you too. So today's segment is just going to be a catch up with me. And so pretty much I left to Hawaii on Wednesday of last week, and I got back this morning at 8 a.m. So on the way there, it was not a direct flight. We had a stop at LA, and it was a pretty long stop. And then from there, it was like 5 hours, I think, like 4.5, 5 hours to Hawaii. So it wasn't bad, but the flight back yesterday was 8 hours. So Chris and I were like, listen, I don't care what we got to do, but we're upgrading to first class. And it was our first time in first class in a super long flight. Usually in first class, the seats are a little bit more, they're bigger, you have more feet space, and they recline a little bit more back. These, since it was a longer flight, the whole seat just lay down like a bed, and then you have your whole screen TV. It's a really big screen TV, and then you have a little area where you can put your food. It's just really nice, and honestly, it was definitely worth whatever we had to pay. I'm not going to mention the number because it definitely hurt, but it hurt purchasing, and now after getting back, I was like, okay, it's definitely worth it, 100% worth it. And I think Chris would agree that it was worth it because he was actually able to sleep. He's never able to sleep on flights. So I looked over and he was passed out. I had a hard time falling asleep at first, but then I ended up falling asleep for the most part. And then the remaining hour, I just watched Miss Congeniality because I've always started that movie but never finished it. And it was really good. I love Sandra Bullock, okay? She's one of my all-time favorite celebrities. There's something about that woman that I just think she's just so beautiful, so poised. I love her. But anyways, all right, so the first thing I'm updating you guys on is Hawaii. So I left, like I said, Wednesday to Hawaii for a ghost work event thing. So they wanted to go to the military base and kind of hand out energy drinks, hand out free sample packets just to support the military and, showcase the brand Ghost Energy. So we were there for a few days. It was some of the guys that I work with. Allie, she's another athlete and teammate of mine. We roomed together, and it was a really good trip. Allie got a little sick, so I was a little worried that I was going to get sick, especially because Chris was meeting me there, and I was going to stay a few extra days. So I was a little nervous about that, but overall, we had a great trip. We all everyone that was there, we all vibed really well together. It was super chill. I will say that Hawaii, I'm sure it had some clubs, but we didn't do any clubbing, bars, or anything like that. To be honest, I think the time difference is what got to us the most. It was a 5-hour time difference from Houston to Hawaii. So Hawaii was 5 hours back. So there would be nights where I would be eating dinner. I was eating steak dinner at 10 p.m. Hawaii time, which is 3, 4 a.m. Yeah, no, 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. Houston time. It was just, my whole time frame was out of whack. So that's the only, I would say, sucky part about it. It's just getting my body used to the time. But other than that, it was an incredible stay with my teammates. I will say that Hawaii is not what I expected it to be. Granted, I only stayed in Waikiki, which is part of Honolulu. I didn't go to Maui or any other areas. I did go to the North Shore, and it was pretty nice, but to be honest, the weather there, the time we were there just sucked ass. Like it was rainy, it was cloudy, it was like sunny for an hour of the day. Like I did manage to get a little bit of a tan, but not really. I was really hoping to tan more. And yeah, it didn't happen. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves when I go on vacation is if the sun is not fucking blazing on my skin, I don't feel like it's a vacation. Like I hate going on vacation if it's raining. It just ruins my whole mood. And after everyone from Ghost left, Chris and I stayed, and it was just really gloomy weather. And it did, like I will say, it did dampen my stay a little bit. It did affect my mood. But yeah, I wasn't so thrilled about that. And I will say Hawaii is not exactly what I expected in the sense of it's beautiful, but it's not like, wow. And I was expecting it to be like, wow. And I think another thing about it is that the hotels weren't wow. Like a lot of the hotels are much older and it doesn't look like they have done anything to these hotels, which kind of sucks because when you go to Cancun or Cabo, like these hotels are just like completely different, and especially the all-inclusive hotels. Like they're constantly trying to upgrade their hotels. Our hotels are just incredible, especially like I said, the all-inclusive ones. And I was expecting that kind of vibe and I just didn't get it. So the first few days I stayed at the Lelo, and then Chris and I stayed at the Alohalani, which is I got that hotel based on TikTok and everyone raved about it. And that one was beautiful. I will say that. I mean, we ended up paying a fucking arm and a leg for the hotel. We did get ocean view, but once I saw the room, I was really happy. The hotel, the vibe was very more modern, contemporary. All the other hotels were a lot more old school, and the pool area was like nice, but the view of the pool wasn't like nice. We were like the pool looked onto like buildings. It didn't have an ocean view. All the pools that we were in were really small. Like we tried the Marriott pool, the Sheraton pool. Like we went to a lot of different like hotels and their pools. The Lelo's pool sucked ass. Even though the Lelo was a nice hotel, the pool was just horrible. There was never sun there, and it was like literally like less than the size of my backyard. Like it was just really small. So I was just very disappointing on that. And I know I'm going on about Hawaii, but if you're planning on going there, I would say if you want to experience Hawaii, go. But it was definitely not my cup of tea. Two, I literally brought so many going out outfits because I really thought the environment was going to be like, like upscale Miami. Definitely not, like at all. Like I was completely overdressed for most of the dinner nights. Everybody was in like either jean shorts or loose summer dresses, which I don't really own a lot of those. Very like, I don't want to like, very like not what I would wear. It's definitely not my style. And so I just was very overdressed for the occasions. Mostly everyone was just kind of laid back. Hawaii is very chill, right? That's why they do like their like sun, like they're very chill. Okay. And I hadn't been to Hawaii before, so I didn't know what to expect. So definitely not my cup of tea. Had a great vacation a little bit, but I don't think I would go back. My favorite part about Hawaii was a restaurant called Suntory. So Chris and I made reservations there. They had a private omakase, which is where you let the chef pick out like a whole, like I think it's like a 6 to 8 course meal. And it's like based on Japanese culture. So like it's basically all sushi. So it was really cool. I will say that experience was really nice. It was very expensive, but it was definitely something that we wanted to do. And Chris and I are actually very into Japanese culture. Chris especially loves a lot about Japanese culture. I love the food. He keeps up with like the top chefs of Japan, the way the sushi's cut, the type of knives to use. Like he keeps up with all that stuff. I don't as much, but I really do enjoy Japanese culture. I love Japanese food. And so the sushi experience was really cool. It was just like us and one other couple, and the whole like area was just beautiful. They walked you in behind like the wine cellar. It was like a very like hidden room, and it was just beautiful, like super beautiful. We tried a lot of different things. So now I know what I like versus what I don't like. The uni is something I hate, but they apparently brought this uni from Japan, and it did have a different taste than like LA uni. And so that was really cool. Just trying the different, uni compared to the uni I tried here that I almost threw up at dinner. It was disgusting. But like I said, I think just having the experience and trying the different fish and now and really knowing, okay, I like this and I don't like this. I think that was really cool. We also got to see like actual wasabi, how it's made, like from the root plant, which I thought was really cool. So definitely, if you're in Hawaii, definitely recommend you going to that restaurant and doing the omakase. Like I said, it is expensive, but it's definitely an experience if you're into sushi and Japanese culture that I recommend to everyone. Also, yesterday we got these massages because we were so tired. Our checkout was super early. And so we just went to the beach for a little bit, came back, showered, checked out by noon, walked around, had some lunch. And Chris and I were just so tired. And I was like, hey, let's go find just a massage place here that's not part of the spa, that it's not gonna fucking be like $300, $400 for an hour massage. Let's go find a local massage place. So we ended up finding one that was like literally across the street from our hotel. And these guys, on their door, it said professional massage only. So I'm guessing a lot of people were asking about quote unquote happy endings. So the fact that these poor ladies had to put that outside their wall, I don't know, but they were the sweetest things. The girl that saw Chris was like, oh my God. She was like, your muscles. Like, she was just raving on about him. And I was like, dude, I feel like she's gonna want the happy ending after all, not you. Like, she just kept going on and on about his body. And she was like, oh my, your body, your muscles. And then the lady that looked at me, she's like, why you have no muscle? I was like, I have muscle. It's just smaller. And so she was just like, the one that had him was like raving on about it. And she's like, oh, you like Greek god. Like, you like statues. She kept saying. I was just like, damn, marry him already. Like, you could take him home now, I guess. It was so fun. The ladies were super duper sweet, and we had a great time there. But yeah, guys, so that's my vacation. And I will say it is a little hard towards the end. I started getting a little bit impatient a little bit, just because with vacations for me, I've gotten so many people who are like, I love Vacation Jazzy. I love content Vacation Jazzy because my content is like really good. I really focus on taking good content. I this time really worked on TikToks and took a lot of content for OnlyFans. And as much as I love taking content, it's also exhausting. I feel like I don't get to really like relax and have a vacation. Like, to be honest, I love makeup. As you guys can see, I always have my makeup done, like when I'm obviously going to be on the podcast. But I also like natural Jazzy. I like just being no makeup, being able to go out. The last day I went out with no makeup, and that's the day where I was stopped, and she was like, oh my God, you're a Jazzy fan. I was like, oh no, you're gonna ask for a picture and I look like a bum right now. I literally look like a bum at that moment. But overall, I like to just like relax. Like, that is my vision of a vacation is like, I don't do my makeup. I literally just am by the beach all day, crisping like a potato chip and reading a book. Whereas Chris is very like, let's make content, let's go explore, let's go do this, let's go walk, let's go eat here. I'm the complete opposite. So that's where we butt heads a little bit when it comes to vacation. And I feel like with this trip, because it was part Ghost and then it was part Chris and we wanted to explore, but at the same time I was exhausted from the days before and I wanted to relax, but I still had to make content. I don't feel like it was an actual like vacation, but I still had a good time. And that's just like, I'm not trying to complain here at all because I'm very grateful for my job and that I get to travel, but I'm just saying, like, I'm giving you guys an insight of my world. Like, I didn't have, like, even the last day I woke up at 6 a.m. to do my makeup and hair because I needed to shoot some content by the pool before everyone gets there. Because if I shoot content, like, I had to shoot 1 or 2 times with, like, people around, and it's just, it's not embarrassing. It's just, like, everyone is staring to the point where they, like, a few people trip. It's just like an uncomfortable situation. I don't like it when people are hardcore staring at me. I feel like I feel their energy and then I start feeling sick, and I'm not lying about that. Like, I feel people's energy, and if I get any sort of bad energy, I start feeling tired and sick, and like, so I try to do all my content when no one's around. But, you know, like I said, I feel like it was a great way for me to go decompress, but I was so ready to come back home. Like, you guys have no idea. I'll talk to you guys about a little bit about that, but I was just excited to come home. But also, so while we were in Hawaii, it was my first time using a bidet. So our hotel room at the Oloholani had a bidet, right? And Chris was like, dude, our hotel has a bidet. And I was like, oh my God, I'm excited to use it. I've never used it. Guys, I have purchased 2 adult things in my life that I am so like, I rave about these adult purchases, which is 1, my Dyson vacuum. I love, if you don't have a Dyson vacuum, you need it in your life. It picks up everything, dog hair, everything. My old vacuum just didn't do enough, like with my Frenchie hair. So my Dyson is just like my best. Literally, like, we use it every single day, and we have all the little different compartments. You can do it on your car, your vacuum. This is not sponsored by Dyson. I'm just talking about how much I love the damn vacuum. But that and the Roomba, which, not the one with the mop. I bought the combo with the mop. We got sold into like the deal, but we've used the mop once because it is a hassle. If you guys have the mop and you know how to use it in a better, efficient way, DM me, because I feel like we have to be changing that pad within like 10 minutes, like literally 10 minutes. Like, it gets like a little square, and then you have to remove the pad, change it, and the liquid runs like super quick. Like, it's just more work than if I just mopped myself. But the Roomba does like do wonders for like when we use it, when we go to the gym, we run it, or when we go to the grocery store, we run it, and it's great. So those 2 things are like my favorite adult purchases. But if I could have another one, it would be a bidet. Guys, like, just to have a fresh butt, like, after you poop, like, that's amazing. And sometimes, you guys, like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about poop, but you have those poops where you just wipe and it just doesn't, just doesn't completely wipe. So having this bidet, dude, like, you just like sit back, that little spray is right in your butthole, and it just cleans it all out. It is the best feeling ever. So I just loved it. 2, ladies, the reason I'm considering this, besides the poop part, because I sometimes shower right after I poop because I don't like feeling gross. So instead of showering twice a day, sometimes I end up showering 3 times a day, which it can be a little frustrating sometimes. But besides that, it literally has this button where it cleanses you. So the spout will just come out. So it's not, I guess it's part of the same one where the butt comes out, but the angles differently. So it literally cleans out your vagina. Like, and not that, like, for me, the only reason I would love this, besides if you're feeling like dirty, is right after sex. I don't know about you ladies. I don't know. I watch all these movies where the girls are just done having sex and they just don't even go pee, which I'm like, okay, you got a UTI or some shit. I mean, I know it's fake, but that, or they just roll over in bed and like they go to sleep like that. And for me, I just can't. Like, I have the gooiness inside of my vagina. I can't stand it. Like, I don't like feeling gooey. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this. So after we have sex, most of the time, I usually like for us to have sex before we shower. That way, I can shower and I'm clean to go to bed, because if I have sex once we're in bed late at night, I just feel so icky. But this just changed my life in Hawaii, because we were having sex and I would just sit on that toilet, press that cleanse button, and I would just sit there, and I would just move around in little circles and let the spout just clean all the gooiness out of my vagina. Like, it was the best thing ever. I didn't have to jump in the shower. I just was there for about 2 minutes, all clean, went straight to bed. So literally I know there's a company that sponsors people for bidets. If you're listening, if you work with a bidet company, hit your girl up, because I would love to have one and be sponsored by you guys. If not, I'm going to purchase one for my home. I don't know how we would need to set it up, but it would probably just change my life, especially for after sex. So guys, if you're listening, get this for your ladies. Keep it at your house or keep it at her house, or wherever you guys have the most sex. That way it can help her. Or ladies, just get it for yourself and put it in your boyfriend's house and be like, hey, this is for me because I need to take care of it. And they'll thank you because their buttholes will be clean after they poop. So that just like was my highlight. One of the highlights of my trip was using that damn bidet. But I know I'm not the only girl that suffers with the gooiness problem, right? The wetness, whatever. I'm goo. I call it goo because it's like a slimy thing, but it's like, it's not cum, okay? Because he does not finish inside of me, but it's like my wetness is just gooey. So it's just being clean. I like being clean. So that's definitely going to help that. So I know a lot of girls ask, like, okay, what is your gym routine like when you travel? How do I balance my gym routine? So I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I was just in Hawaii. And guys, when I travel, before I travel, like because I knew I had Hawaii coming up, I was right after Georgia. I told you guys I was gonna be on my game, like every day, and I was like every single day. I was doing my best in the gym, in my spin classes, at home with my meals, drinking my water to make sure that when I got to Hawaii, I felt my best, and I did. I looked really great. I was really happy with my shape. So before going on a trip, I make sure that I do everything I can to stay consistent. I don't, like, if I eat out, I'll definitely like, I'll have like chicken or something, but I'm not gonna have like a burger or things like that. And I'll just say no to them. Like literally my will is that much where I'm like, no, I have a shoot or whatever. And I'll stick to it. Like, and I think that's one of the best things that you can do on vacation. I think a lot of the times what happens is you're like, well, I have vacation, but then weekends come and then you go out with your friends and you're not strong enough to say no, or you're like, oh, it'll be whatever, but it's not whatever because you'll end up overeating and then you will lose all the work that you lost that week. And instead of feeling at 100% on vacation, you'll end up feeling like you didn't do your best. And for me, that I hate that feeling. So I do my best. I say no to pizza. I say no to burgers. I say no to literally anything with like high fat, high grease. I stick to my whole foods. If we go out, I stick to chicken. Like I said, I limit overeating. And then when I'm in Hawaii or on my vacation, I feel my best. And so that's what I'll do. And then in Hawaii, I think I worked out twice out of the 7 days that I was there. I ran like 3 times, but I'm not like super adamant. If you can wake up at like 7 a.m., 6 a.m. and get your workout done before your trip, go do it. I think for me, what was so hard was the time difference. Like I was just exhausted all day, but I was really proud of myself that I was able to, out of those 7 days, 45 of those days I worked out / ran. And the other time I just walked. So I always tell my clients, like, just if you can't go in the morning and work out, go for a run or go get steps in. And so one of those days, Chris and I walked like an hour. We did like an hour walk. Plus, that was just in the morning. Plus all the walking we did in Hawaii. I think that's one of the things that I did enjoy about Hawaii was that everything was close enough to walk. And even though I was exhausted from walking all the time, it was good because I don't walk a lot here at home. So counting those steps in was like almost like exercising for me. So I didn't feel bad about not working out because I knew we were walking everywhere. And 2, being on top of my water game. Some days my water wasn't the best, but I really focused on keeping my water intake the same. I took my supplements, which I take my dandelion, my turmeric, all the things that I take on a daily here at home. I made sure I took them, I packaged them in my little pill box and took them every single day because it's really important that you keep things from home consistent on your vacation if you want to quote unquote look a certain way. So I just keep that consistent, took all my vitamins every morning. 3, I chose good healthy foods in the morning all the way until like dinner time. In dinner, it's a little bit harder to choose healthier foods. So I just made sure like for breakfast and lunch, I ate, fruit, acai bowls, egg whites. I had a bunch of things that were healthy and not like McDonald's and bread and things like that I was going to feel gross throughout the day. And then at dinner, if we ended up having, which I feel like we didn't, I think the unhealthiest day we had a burger, but other than that, like we ate steak and veggies and things like that for dinner. So it was a pretty healthy dinner for the most part. But yeah, that's what I do when I'm on vacation. When I'm on vacation, I literally, which is like people would think that I'm like a fit fanatic. I don't stress about the gym. Like if I can make it work, I'll make it work. But if I can't make it work, I'm not going to stress it out. I'm just going to say, okay, what other things can I do instead of the gym to stay active? I actually looked for spin classes. They didn't have any. I was going to do a CrossFit class, but it didn't match up with our schedule. So I just went to the UFC gym, had an amazing early morning workout, took some Ghost pre-workout, I bought a hoodie there because I was kind of cold and just like was in my own headspace. And I just dominated that workout. But yeah, so if I can, I'll go and I'll make it work. And if I can't, I don't stress about it. I just make sure I stay active throughout the day. So that's what I encourage you ladies to do. Drink your water, keep your vitamins the same, and just stay active throughout the day and choose healthier options throughout the day. That way, if you know you're going to have tacos at night or whatever, you want to splurge a little bit more at night, you have that little grace that you don't feel guilty about. You're not like, oh my God, I had burgers and fries for lunch and then I had waffles and pancakes for breakfast, and you had all these, not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but the more you balance it out, the better you'll feel and the more you'll be able to maintain the progress that you've made. So just wanted to share that with you guys a little bit because I get asked that all the time. And, it's something I preach to my clients about all the time too. Also, when I was in Hawaii, I finally started my supplements for Transcend. So I talked to you guys a little bit about Transcend on, I think, 2 episodes ago. So I just started working with a company called Transcend, and Transcend is a hormone therapy company. So basically, if you feel like something is off with your body, they will be able to tell you in depth what options you have and what they recommend for you to do. So basically, I've been following a few people that have been working with this company, and I just saw amazing results from them, guys. Like, I'm one of those people, I'm an observer, okay? I'm not a big talker unless like I'm your friend and we get close, but for the most part, I'm an observer. And especially with social media, I observe little things. And I was looking at these people's progress and I was like, oh my God, something is changing here. Like, I just saw that they were going through something, but now they're doing better. Like, what are they doing? And they started working with this company, Transcend. And so I was like, listen, I was telling Chris, I feel like my body's been off. I'm pretty aware when it comes to my body, guys. I know when I'm holding water because I ate bad, and I know when I'm holding water because I'm on my period. But I also know when I'm feeling off, when everything else is aligning. So for a little while, I've just been like, for some time actually, I've been like feeling like something's off, like my estrogen's off or something, because I'm just really moody lately and sensitive lately, like to everything. And like, I literally like want to cry all the time. And like, I told Chris, I was like, something's off. I really want to reach out to this company just to make sure that I'm okay and that my goals are in alignment with my health. And so I reached out to them about working with them, and they were like, yeah, we love to work with you and we'd love to have you as an athlete and like work with us. So basically, I talked to one of their head guys there, and if you sign on using like my link, or once you fill out the form, it tells you who referred you, and you just click Jazmin, it'll direct you to the team member that like helps me, and they are just absolutely amazing guys. Like, from the first step, like of getting my blood work done so that you get an extensive blood work done, they'll send you what you need to go get done at a LabCorp, and they'll get the results, and they will go over every little single thing. Like, not just like what a doctor would go over and be like, okay, this is normal, you're fine. Like, every little single thing. And depending on your goals, they'll be like, okay, like for me, my estrogen was okay. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't incredibly bad. But according to my goals, it wasn't the best. We could improve it. Same with other things. Same with my metabolism. They were like, you know what? Your metabolism, actually not metabolism, your thyroid. Your thyroid is not bad, but it's not great. I definitely think we can improve it there. So they'll tell you exactly what needs to be improved to help you reach your goals. So they'll recommend something, then you'll get on a call with an actual doctor. You'll tell them everything that's going on. They'll say, okay, I definitely recommend you do this, and don't do this, or I know that I saw that they recommended this, but let's try this alternative first. And they're very great about, listen, let's try the least amount first. Let's see what works. And that way, if we need to add more, whatever, we can, because the more we give you, the more variables are going to be there. So let's start you off with as little supplements as possible, and then we'll work up. And it's just been, the whole process with them was amazing. I was just waiting for my supplements to get in, and I got them while in Hawaii. Chris brought them to me, and I started taking my thyroid medicine. I started progesterone medication once my period starts, and that's going to help with my endometriosis, which I'm really excited about. And I'm taking a few other supplements too, and I'm just really excited. Like I said, this Saturday will be a full week of me completely doing it. So I think after 2 to 3 weeks, I'll start like really seeing incredible changes. And I'm just really excited. And I wanted to share it with you guys because if you have any type of thyroid issue, if you feel like you're not losing weight because and you're dieting and you're like working out, there's got to be a reason behind it, right? There's got to be a hormonal factor. Reach out to them. I will leave the link in my in the description box. You can DM me too, and on my Instagram I have the link there as well. Or if you fill it out on their website and Transcend, it'll say who referred you, and you just click Jazmin, and they'll send you over to my team, and they'll just help you out, guys. And it's just so far, like I said, it's been an amazing experience. I can't wait to see like actual physical results. I've been away for a whole week, so I'm excited now that I'm home to stay consistent with my diet and everything and start seeing results, because my goal is just to be fit, to look the part of being fit. And that's my biggest issue. It's like I'm doing all this cardio, and I'm not that I'm excessively doing it, but I'm doing cardio, I'm staying healthy, I'm working out, I'm taking care of my body. I just want to make sure I look that way, and then I don't feel the complete opposite, and then I'm not doing too much. And they'll literally guide you. They don't do meal plans, I believe, or like training programs. So it's not that. If you're looking for that, hit me up because I'm taking on clients. But it is just for the hormonal part of it. So I'm really excited to, keep working with them and see my results. So just wanted to share that with you guys. So in Hawaii, I basically just like was in my thoughts a lot and really thought about where I want my future to go and things that I felt like it needed to change, and career wise, mental wise, and just relationship wise too. Like there was a lot of things that I thought about on this trip, and like I said, I was really excited to come back home and get to work. But it was a great little trip to just kind of clear my head, really focus on the things that I want to focus on, and I kind of wanted to share some of those things with you guys. So relationship wise. So as you guys know, Chris and I have been together for 12 years, and we've had our ups and downs in between those 12 years, but thankfully Chris and I have been doing really well. We did a therapy course back in February, and that I wouldn't say it helped a lot, but it did help. With my relationship and Chris's relationship, I'm giving you guys the ins in our relationship, but our biggest struggle is that he's more quiet and I'm more outgoing. And so it can sometimes be hard when it comes to, we can communicate great about what we're feeling and like if there's something that's troubling us. But when it comes to like sitting down at a dinner table and conversing, I guess it's not so much communicating, it's conversation. That's where we have issues. Because one, we've been together for so long. Two, we work together all day. So there's nothing really new in our relationship to really converse about. What I go through throughout the day, he knows about. What he goes throughout the day, I basically know about. So I would say like that is our biggest struggle, but it's something that we're both aware of now, and we both make an effort for the other person. And I will say like relationships are not easy, guys. They're really not. I mean, you can love a person, and Chris is my best fucking friend and I love him, but there are moments where things do get tough, especially with the world that I live in. It can get really tough because you see so much outside distraction, and it's really hard to not get caught up in that and be like, am I missing out? Am I missing out? Did I get married too young? Am I missing out of all these experiences and traveling and being single? And like, I know there's a lot of people that go through this, but especially like in the career that I am in, it is extremely hard to not look at what everybody else is doing and be like, am I missing out? And I think that this year that was something that I was dealing with, and I was so happy in my relationship. But when you see everything else, you kind of go, what if? And I had a segment about this a while back where I was like, the what ifs will kill you, because all you're doing is literally overthinking everything, drawing all these stupid ass scenarios in your head, and all these what ifs that you have no idea if they're sure. And it's something that I've talked about in therapy. I'm sure you guys hear it all the time. The grass is not always greener on the other side, but social media paints you this pretty picture that it is, and that this world is so much better, when in reality it probably isn't. It's your own perspective of that world, and your own perspective of the world that you live in. So relationship wise, this year I really had to buckle down and be like, okay, where do I want my relationship to go with Chris? Because I feel like we've always loved each other. We've always respected each other. We love being married to each other. But with my career, it's been hard. There have been a lot of moments where I've had to pick my career over Chris, meaning I've had to travel over him, staying home with him, and I have to be at this event rather than be with him, and I have to go out to this club rather than be with him, because I have to because I have to be seen with my team and be part of the teammate social gatherings, and I've had to choose it being there over Chris. Not that I've had to, I've chosen. And now that I've gotten older, and like I said, I've asked myself, where do I want my relationship with Chris to go? I want my relationship with Chris to be stronger. I want my relationship with Chris to be my priority. And I think we're both on the same page, and it's a discussion that we both had. And not saying that Chris has never been okay with everything that I've done, because he's always been 100% on board. He, to be honest, is probably the most anti-jealous person I've ever met. And he understands the world, the social media world that we live in. He understands that I have to do a lot of traveling on my own. But I think recently I've just been like, listen, I understand that when we first started my social media, when we first started with these brands and wanted to fit in, quote unquote, with everyone, we had to make these sacrifices, and I had to go to these places, and I had to, be at this party and be seen with these people. But now I'm at the point in my life where I'm like, I love my job. I love my teammates. I love what I do, but it's going to be work only. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that from a lot of my team, and even when I worked with Alphalete, like, I am the only one that is married, and you are looked at you're looked at differently because like you're married, but at the same time you're not. Like, they don't take your marriage seriously. So they just kind of expect you to do all these single like things, like go out and do all these things, even though you're not single. And it's almost like I had to pick, okay, like, yes, I got to go out here with them, but at the same time, I'm over here like worrying about not hurting Chris's feelings and him being okay and making him feel secure, because, I am at a club with a bunch of dudes, and it's not the fact that he's jealous about me. It's the fact that he knows how other people are. We've been in the industry. We know how it is. We know how much cheating goes on in the industry. So one of the conversations where I'm going with is, and obviously I'm letting you guys really deep into my relationship, and I just want you guys to see what it's like, is I am choosing my relationship first over going out with the companies that I work with. And I will always be there for a job. I will always be there to do and make the content that needs to be done. And I will always hold my end of the bargain in a professional manner. But when it comes to going out and partying and doing all these other things, I'm always going to choose Chris first, and I'm going to choose him. And if he can't come with me, then I'm not going to go. I just feel like, especially now going through therapy, and like I said, there's so much temptation around. I've had to really dig deep and be like, do I want to keep putting myself in these situations? Do I want to keep making my life more stressful? Because it is stressful on my end. I'm completely, when I'm not with Chris, it's like this weird energy. I feel like I'm not protected. I feel like I have to be on guard. And when he's not with me, I feel like I always, not that I don't want to, but I have to update him. So I'm like not present in the moment because I'm updating him, and I'm stressed about this and I'm stressed about that. And what if a guy makes a move and I don't know what to say? Because even though, guys, I'm a strong fucking female in the business world, and I feel like in certain things I can stand up for myself, there have been certain situations, and I know as females, it can be so fucking hard to stand up for yourself and be like, why are you touching me that way? Or why are you doing that? And I'm telling you, guys will fucking try to get away with as much as they can. And I don't want to be putting myself in situations where I'm uncomfortable and not that my teammates have ever made me feel uncomfortable. I'm just saying I don't want to be put myself in situations where I'm not putting my relationship first and I'm not choosing my relationship as a priority. I'm a 27-year-old married woman and I'm happily married, and I want more than anything my relationship to keep growing and my marriage to keep growing and be filled with love and so much more, that I finally have this deeper understanding of where I want my marriage to go. I always knew I wanted to be married with Chris. It's not that I ever had the thought of like, oh, my marriage isn't gonna last. It's just now I have like a deeper understanding. If you would have asked me like, oh, where's your marriage going? I would have been like, oh, it's going great. Like I'm gonna be with Chris for the rest of my life. But now it's like, I really want to work on even like our relationship is so great right now. I can't even imagine how much better it can be, but I know it can be better. And I just want to really focus on that. And guys, it's not an easy world to be in, and I'm like, so I hate to say it, like, oh, you're a social media influencer. Like, no, it's just, I am in the spotlight. I'm constantly traveling and it is hard. Like when you're doing that, I can't even imagine celebrities, guys, and why celebrities cheat all the time. There's so much temptation everywhere you go. You're frowned upon if you're not going with the crowd. If you want to respect your significant other, you're looked upon as stupid, or like you're just looked upon a different way. The people don't give other people credit when they respect their significant other. And that's what the society lacks. And I'm just so over it. And I'm at the point where I'm like, I know what I want out of my life. I'm happy in my life. I know that I'm not fucking missing anything out of this world. And I want to make sure that I keep what's important as a priority. And I don't want to fall into this film, basically, of this party scene and what everybody else is doing. And I know what I want for my life, and I'm happy with what I have and what I've chosen. And I just want to set that as a priority. And I just wanted to give you guys an insight on that. And it's a lot of personal shit, you guys, but I've always said that I was always going to be really raw and honest with you guys. And yeah, that's what's going on. And like, it's like I said, it's really hard. Like, when you live in a small town and there's really nothing much to do, like, yeah, you can be in love with your significant other. There's still going to be a little bit of cheating around because of social media nowadays. But when you're in a bigger, grander scheme of things, and like my therapist says, there's hot people all around, like you live in a whole different world that I live in. That's what my therapist says. You live in a whole different world that I live in. And you just have to make sure you know what your priorities are and what you want out of your life. And I think I finally have like a clear definition and not so back and forth on what it is that I want as far as that goes, and not trying to, more so like back and forth as trying to please other people, and more so please myself and be more stern on the decisions that I make. So yeah, guys, so that's what I want out of my relationship. Career-wise, I finally feel like I am getting in a groove with Provocative. You guys have been absolutely amazing with the amount of support you guys have provided me. Like I've said, if you guys can share an episode on your story, it's always better for me because it's how we continuously grow the brand. But I love it. I feel like making this podcast, like, it was a calling for me. Like, I didn't know what I was missing out of my life. And now with Provocative, like, I could have easily said, I don't want to film for you guys, or make an episode this week, but I was like, no, I want to do something. Like, I feel so connected to you guys, and I just feel like I'm supposed to be here in this moment, and I know things are going to only get better with the podcast. And I just, I love you guys so much, and I love the support, and I love all your stories about how the podcast helps you guys. And, that's what I'm here for, to help you guys. So like I always say, don't hold back in sharing what you want to hear from me, because I'm always going to be raw and honest. There's times where like I can't, like, my biggest thing with the Provocative is I want to find better guests for you guys, because I want you guys to take away so much more out of my podcast. And sometimes I do get topics about like infidelity, and even like it's not something I've gone through. So I really need to go and have someone on here that's going to be able to help you. I don't want to just have whoever or me talk out of my ass because of like what I think I would do if I was cheated on nowadays. Like, no, I want to be able to provide like substance on the podcast. So I promise that I see your suggestions. And if I can, I always try my best to, make an episode for you guys. And I am working on getting better guests for you guys. I want you to know that because helping you girls out and guys, if you're listening, is my fucking main priority. And, especially with last week's episode, what I would tell my younger self, like, I just want young girls to listen to this episode, or even you guys, if you're going through something, and be able to fucking help you out and help you come out stronger on the other side. So I just want to say that, like, I love you guys, and the Provocative Podcast is like has been my number one priority, and it's continuously going to be my number one priority right now. Like I said, it's something I'm super passionate about. I'm not making any money doing this. I'm spending more money than actually making any money. But I know that I'm helping you girls out, and I know that there's something great at the end of this, and I'm just looking forward to that. Number two, as you guys know, OnlyFans is a big part of my life. And, I haven't really shared with you guys a lot about this, but I love OnlyFans. I'm not going to go into detail with it. You guys can go watch my episode. I think it was like episode 3 where I talk about why I love OnlyFans so much. But it's a temporary thing, guys. I know that I'm getting older, and I know that beauty is such a small part of your life. Like, I know I'm not going to have this body for the rest of my life. I know I'm not going to have this skin for the rest of my life. And I know I don't want to do OnlyFans when I'm fucking 35. Like, it's not something that I'm planning on doing long term. So my goal with OnlyFans is to do as much as I can with it so that I can put that into different areas of my life. And I hope you guys understand that. Not that like it really matters if you understand that or not, because it doesn't affect you, but I just wanted to give you guys an insight on that, because I don't think I've shared that with the podcast before. Like, I have a purpose behind everything that I do. And especially with OnlyFans, there's a greater purpose with that. So, I'm continuously making, content for it. I will say, if I'm being completely honest, I've hit like almost like a wall with the content that I've made, because people are asking, guys are asking for more. They want to see more. They want to see, they think my stuff is too PG-13, which I mean, I show my nipples, but I just feel like that is as deep as I want to go. And even though I could be making so much more money doing more, I just can't do that. And I don't want to do that. And I haven't put myself in that situation, and I don't plan on putting myself in that situation. I'm always the type of person that says never say never, because you never know. But there's OnlyFans is demanding more out of me as far as like my supporters go, but I'm just doing what I feel like is morally right for me. And as long as it will continuously help me in the other areas of my life, I'm going to keep doing it. And I know there's a step plan at the end of it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And then obviously I'm really happy with the sponsors that I'm working with now. If you guys know, like, I work with Ghost, I worked with Dark Sport, now I'm working with Transcend, Mega Fit Meals. I love the companies that I work with and what they stand for. And I hope that you guys don't take my relationship one that I just went into and think it has anything to do with these companies, because it doesn't. But I love the companies that I work with. I've been working with Ghost for like 7 years now. It's been a really long time. Dark Sport, is the most recent, but, I love working with them. I love what they stand for. And right now, as far as my sponsors go, I'm really happy with who I'm working with. So, yeah. And then, focusing on growing myself through social media, through my TikTok, I'm actually doing a lot better with that, guys. So I told you guys that was going to be a priority for me this year, and I've been doing a lot better. Could I be doing more? Absolutely. Absolutely. But that is the goal of mine for the next, few months. But I just got to step up my game with that. It's a lot of fucking work to make content. I got to make 4 fucking TikTok videos a day. But you got to do what you got to do if you plan on growing in this world. So, the hard work will pay off. And so just, focusing on growing myself through my social media, through Instagram right now, like I said, TikTok is the way to go. And then, I have a few special projects in the work with No Evil. We're going to be launching new jewelry, which I'm really excited about. Honestly, with No Evil, it is t-shirts. We're going to be launching new t-shirts too. It started out with t-shirts, and then, I had my bracelet collection, and then, which was the Guardian collection. I'm actually wearing it now. And now we transitioned it over to No Evil. So part of No Evil. So now No Evil has a jewelry line, and Chris and I came up with new designs for our jewelry line, and I'm just so excited for you ladies to see it. And guys, we're coming out with more bracelets, but girls, I'm coming out with more bracelets, rings, yes, rings, and I'm just so excited for you girls because I'm very much a ring girl person. I love rings. Right now I'm not wearing much, but I love it. So I'm so excited for you guys to get to see the new pieces, and they'll be coming out really soon. And then I have a few secret projects in the works right now, and I'm just so ready for them, and I'm just so excited for them, and I'm not going to say anything more. So yeah, but I'm just really excited for that. And yeah, so that's it, mostly career wise. Like I said, it's constantly trying to do more, trying to progress what we're doing and make it better. And I think like even recently, like we bought the best fucking Sony camera like a few months ago, and we were shooting with it, but I was like, you know what, babe, I feel like my pictures need to level up. Like there's something missing with my pictures. They're not looking like this. And this is why I love Chris so much. She was like, well, she's shooting with a flash, so we're going to have to get a flash. And at first we were kind of like, well, oh my God, it's another step for a setup. But he purchased it while I was in Hawaii, and he brought it, and it just fucking made the pictures look so much better. So we're always trying to progress on the content that we're making. We're always trying to get better. And, like I said, dip your toe in everything that you want to do. Take every fucking opportunity that you can. And I promise there will be growth there. And I'm just so excited because, we have our toes dipped into little things. And I'm just excited to see all of it bloom. So that's pretty much career-wise. And then mental-wise, like I've said, I continuously go to therapy. Right now I was going to therapy every week, and then I went to every 2 weeks, and now I'm going to therapy every month. I feel like there will be months where I'll probably do every other week again, like every 2 weeks, just because depending on what I'm going through at that moment, you can always use a therapist. And my therapist has really helped me heal with past traumas that I didn't even know were there, and has helped me see things differently. And like I said, in my world, you get caught up in stupid shit, and you get caught up in your own little bubble. But when you talk to someone who's on the outside of your world, you get a different perspective, and it's been really great getting that different perspective. So, continue going to therapy. Continue reading. I feel like, I did have a little month where I was just like not reading. I'm back to reading again. Right now I'm reading the book Dark Matter, and it's really good. Katie Hearn, if you guys follow her, she's like a fitness icon. She posted it on her story, and I was like, I'm going to give it a try. I had no idea what it was about. I started reading it without an idea what it was about. And then I read the back, and I was like, oh, okay. And so far I'm like on chapter 6, not too deep because I didn't get a chance to really read in Hawaii. Cause like I said, we were always go, go, go. But I'm going to keep reading it, and reading is such a great part of my life. I love doing it. It helps me just relax, and takes me out of my own fucking headspace and constantly going, which is something that I need to do. So, yeah, reading is something that I'm going to keep up. And, I feel like for me, I need to read more. I read a lot of like fun books, but I'm really like, especially after this weekend, I'm want to get a book that will help me with things I feel like I struggle with. And right now, something that I've been struggling with is overthinking. And I've just been fucking overthinking everything, guys. And it happens to me where I overthink so much that I'm so indecisive. I can't make a fucking decision to save my life. And I will just need everybody else's opinion to make my decision. And I'll literally just be like, Chris, I want you to make it because I can't make it. Like I start almost having a fucking panic attack because I can't make the decision. And Chris is very good at stepping back and being like, this is your decision. You need to do it. Something just happened this week where he was like, I'm not telling you what to do. And I was like, I just don't know what to do. He's like, I'm not telling you. Like, I'm okay with whatever you decide, but you got to make this decision. And I'm like, he's like, you've been really indecisive lately, and I know that that's not who you want to be, and you just need to stop overthinking it and make a decision and be happy with the decision that you make, or accept that that's the decision that you're going to make, and whatever the consequences is, you got to deal with it. And I'm like, fuck, I think it's just I don't like to deal with the consequences. And I'm not the type of person to put blame on anybody else, but when the decision is made for me, it goes back to therapy. It goes back to my past trauma and why I like for people now to make decisions for me. It's a lot. It's a lot of history. But I want to read books to help me become more decisive and stop overthinking, because I feel like, especially where I'm going in my life, I need to be more stern. There's a lot of big things that are going to be happening in the next few months, and I gotta fucking be 100% with the decisions that I'm going to make, or they can really fuck up a lot of things. So I just really want to work on that. And yeah, so I'm just being real and honest with you guys. That's what I'm struggling with right now. And that's what I'm going to look into reading, because I definitely need help in that aspect. And then focusing lastly on making time for my safe space, which is like meditating a little bit more outside and being more present in the moment. I feel like for me, I'm so on the go, especially the last few months, because we went to Georgia, came back, had so much shit to do before I left to Hawaii, went to Hawaii. And I was like, did I even like really spend time with my dogs before I left? Like, was I even present with them? And then like, I get so caught up in like what I'm doing that even though Chris and I are together, we're not really together. I haven't even like checked up on him to be like how he's doing. And he'll bring it up to my attention, and he'll be like, hey, like you haven't really checked up on me, like to see how I'm doing. Like, I know we're together, but you're like not there. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I've just been so much in my head because I have so much going on. And I'm like, on a fucking, like, my brain works on like lists. I'm like, okay, this. And then personal and relationship is like the last thing I worry about, because work always comes first. So it's definitely something that I am working on, is being more present and having more time. Making more time for my safe space will help with that, because I feel like it'll really help ground me on the things that are important, and not just focus so much on what needs to get done. So guys, this segment ended up being a little longer than what I hoped for, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It gave you guys an insight on my life, on what's been going on what I've been struggling with, on what I want my future to look like. And you know, how, I recommend that you get a bidet to make your vagina clean, and all the little things that I feel like were important to share. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know what you guys think. DM me. I always like your opinions. So please DM me. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Make sure you guys leave a 5-star review. If you don't know, I do have a YouTube channel. You can watch me on YouTube and watch the full episodes on there too. So you guys can follow the Provocative Podcast on YouTube as well. And yeah, guys, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.